What do you need to avoid doing when you're buying a home? Hi, this is Beth Helvey with Control Real Estate. I hope you're doing good today. So there are certain things that when buyers are out looking at property, it's such an emotional and charged process that there are certain things that we need to help them avoid. One of them is very, very important, and that is aesthetics. I blame HGTV for this. So often people go into properties and they say, I don't like the wall color, I don't like the draperies, I don't like the decor or whatever like that. And they get caught up in that topical visual image instead of what the house actually is, and then they decline the house, which is really, really a shame because not everybody's tastes are the same, and not everybody's going to neutralize their house before they put it on the market. And the perfect house is out there, but maybe it needs a coat of paint, or maybe it needs the draperies taken down, or maybe it needs the rugs brought up and floors put in, tile floors put in. These are simple fixes that one can do to make the house their own, and you need to be able to look past that, especially when you go into homes where people have a very distinct decorative style, and they have the furniture and the pictures and the knickknacks and whatever out that works with that personal style. You need to see past that to the house, because I think a lot of houses get skipped over because of this, and they're actually really, really great houses. Another thing you need to make sure you don't do is wait too long to make an offer. Yes, I know the market has settled down, and yes, I know properties are on the market for a little bit longer, but you would be surprised at how many times I have a buyer and we go to put an offer on a property and we're competing against somebody else, even though it's been on the market for 30 days. So it's percolated on the market long enough that it's now brought people in. Maybe it's had a price reduction, and that's also why we're making an offer. Who knows? But it will happen, and I'm seeing it happen a lot. And we know that it's not a gimmick from the listing agent, because I've had buyers where we've lost out and then the property goes under contract, it goes pending. So it's not necessarily a line that listing agents are giving us. Another thing that's really, really important is ignoring what the seller's motivation or needs are. We still need to do that. Yes, the market is changing. I mean, honestly, it felt like it turned on a dime a few months ago, but it's still a seller's market. Now, while sellers don't have as much power as they did 6 months ago, they still have some power. And we need to do this. We need to, as a buyer agent, I call the listing agent and say, hey, what do they need? Do they need a certain closing date? What are they looking for in terms of inspection timeframes? What are they looking for in terms of anything else? And we need to hear what that story is from a listing agent, because oftentimes they'll share it with us. And their sellers have their own dreams of what they want to do when they leave. Maybe they need 3 months to move out because they've got so much to pack up. Maybe they would like to sell right away because they're under contract for something else and they want to get to that next property right away. Just a quick little story. The last house I owned, I got it because the seller met my kids, which was a little bit of a crapshoot at that time because they were young. But she wanted the house to go to a family that would live in the house like she did. She raised her family there. She really wanted a family in there. So when the previous people lost out on the contract because they were squabbling over the septic tank, which really it was not a non-issue, she happily went to the backup contract, which was us, because she had met our family. So there are certain things like this that do make a difference for buyers and sellers. And there are sellers out there who are still so emotionally attached to their house that they do want it to go to someone who's going to love it just as much as they do. And as a buyer agent, I can convey that to the listing agent, who can then convey it to the seller. And then that seller will be assured that my buyers, whether they're a family or not, or whether it's a retired couple, see the house with the same sort of love that the sellers have. So these are all things that we can take care of. And yes, there are nuances in buying a property, but there's still really important nuances that we need to be mindful of. So the article is pinned below. Feel free to read it. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. I'd love to hear. This is Beth Helvey with Control Real Estate. If you have the opportunity to get outside, I encourage you to do so. Wear your sunscreen, drink a lot of water, and I'll talk to you later. Bye now.